I have been wearing this particular sweater a lot. I've been practically wearing it in every video at least once. I just love this sweater, and that is in no small part due to the fiber that I used. This Blue Texel, it is the perfect sweater yarn, and you cannot change my mind. So luckily I still have approximately a sweater's worth of this yarn left. I was so productive during Tour de Fleece. Future Jente is thankful. I have proclaimed Blue Texel to be the king of cables because you can see what is happening over here, but I'm curious how Blue Texel works with another colored yarn. And I was thinking, what about this? What about my very colorful corriedale? And maybe also this very colorful blue-faced leicester? Oh yeah. Friends, I have plans. And the plan is to take revenge on my previous failed brioche experimentations. This is from this Penguin magazine. It does not say which year, but it was at least prior to 2000 because it was still sold in Belgian francs and not in euros. So, vintage. My plans, my knitting plans for 2025 are less doom scrolling on Ravelry and more doom reading in my vintage magazines. Let us make a gauge swatch. Need to figure this out because I don't know if this is the same when knit flat, but last time when I did brioche I realized that I didn't have to do the slipping of the stitches purlwise but knitwise. I'm going to finagle around a little bit and see whether this is the case again. I have figured out a way to do the brioche two color, flat knit, you know, the whole shebang with Eastern uncrossed knitting. Look at it. Perfect brioche, even though I have a little mistake right over here. Yeah, but I know how to remedy that now. Yeah, this is pretty off gauge. It should be closer to 10 centimeters. It's about 15. Let's drop a needle size then. Yep, 3 millimeters is going to do the trick. I will still have to decide, however, which one is the front side of my brioche. The colorful one or the gray one? I think the gray one, because I want the Blue Texel to shine. But since this is knit flat, I can still decide. So I've gotten quite comfortable and confident with the brioche knitting. For those of you who are sitting on the edge of your seat, knowing what the trick is to Eastern uncrossed brioche knitting, yes, it is exactly as I said in the beginning. It is keep your working yarn at the back of your work. And that makes sense because that is where the leading leg of your stitch is. If Western styles put their yarn in front, that is where their leading leg of their stitch is. Anyway, just a moment of commotion for this color combination. Both sides, actually. It looks like magic, doesn't it? And it's so squishy and soft. I think I will want to hug myself continuously when I'm wearing this when it's finished. However, we're only almost finishing the back piece, so that is still a long way before it is finished, but it just looks so good already. I just needed to tell you that. This first ball of my variegated handspun probably is enough for the entire back piece. But that means the second ball will not be enough for the two front pieces and the sleeves, so I will have to add in that other color, which is also magical but looks completely different. So what I'm thinking right now is to do one sleeve and one front piece in this color, and then one sleeve and one front piece with this, and then I have two different fronts and sleeves. Not sure if I want like right side all in one color and left side in all in one color, or switch it up with sleeves. I'll decide that when I get to it. Also, because I love both sides equally, I am planning to make this a reversible cardigan. Depending on how much color I want in a day, I can switch it around. That's the plan, that's the plan. The back piece is done! Only, it's like slightly slanted or something. I don't know how or why. And I started on one of the front pieces. Well, hey, we now have a very scrunchy backside. One front and one sleeve. Yippee! That is over half of my cardigan done. This of course gives a much better view of a cardigan shape. As I said, I will now have to start with more of a yellow colored yarn as the background, and I'm not sure if I want to do my cardigan like this and have like a medieval two-toned garment, or completely embrace clownesque vibes, don't mind my husband's foot over here, and then have the yellow sleeve over here and the yellow front over here. We'll see. We'll see. We first need to knit them, of course. I feel like this project I have been knitting a lot without updating you guys, without filming it. I have almost an entire sleeve again. Let's talk a little bit about it, because I have switched yarns. As I have said, I made a couple of pieces with my purple yarn, but that is now gone. I started this sleeve with the purple yarn still over here. As you can see, it's not purple over here, but I thought, well, as it is going to yellow, it would be a great gradient into my second yarn. In the entire piece, it doesn't look out of place, this, well, mostly purple yarn. But when you come closer, it's just so striking how different they are. Not only in colors, like I spun this one differently, clearly, because it's not as much of a barber pole yarn as the purple one was. I also never intended them to be worked together. It just came up like this. But a second thing I want to talk about is the difference in the yarn itself, not just color-wise. And I have talked in a different video about my want for yarn companies to specify the breed, and this is why this is important. I don't even know if the camera is able to show you what I have been calling the purple yarn, which was corriedale, is a much shinier, silkier looking yarn than this one, which was BFL, which looks a lot more akin to the Blue Texel, so a lot fuzzier, not as nice and shiny. Just two different kinds of softness that I wish yarn companies would you know, put on their labels. It's quite a bit of a different color progression than my first pieces are, but I think they will work together well enough. It's still just looking like magic interspersed with beautiful gray. I'm so excited for this. I want this. I can feel, I can smell the finish line, and I can already feel this being on my body and being like my next favorite piece. So excited for this. It's sort of funny when I think of it, that I am sustaining my knitting, gotta admit, obsession with yarn from Tour de Fleece almost the year round. We're getting close to Tour de Fleece again. I'm still knitting with last year's yarn. I had some good production. For this year, well, I have a main project in mind about which I will tell you when the time is ripe. But I also still have a lot of the bats of this spin, of this Blue Texel spin, left over. I didn't get to finish them all, so whenever my main project is finished next summer, I think I might just spin more of the Blue Texel. I still dream of a Blue Texel sweater, but like a colorwork Blue Texel sweater, but only in shades of Blue Texel, because I have light and dark fleeces. This is nice, you know, the Blue Texel with the many colors, but just a Blue Texel, just all the colors, or maybe also throw in some Swatch. Ooh, ideas, man. It's just working on one project mostly gives so much new ideas. It's a never-ending stream of ideas. At least for me, working with fiber arts, never running out of ideas. And that's good news for you too, isn't it? And I've also noticed, like, not only during this project, but also during the filming of my wedding cape, that I'm not so good at filming this big project. Like, I started in November, I have no idea what I said on camera then, and frankly I also have no idea on what I should say on camera now. Projects like these, I just knit a lot without turning the camera on, which is logic, because from all of those thousands of stitches that I will do over the course of this project, you only need to see a couple of hundred. You will get the gist, the essence of brioche if I don't show you every stitch. I want to show you my thought processes and that stuff, but I don't know what I've shown you in November. So I hope that all in all this is an enjoyable video for you, that it makes sense in some way, that there is a logical progression. Also, when I make videos that are shorter projects, I mostly have like kind of a red thread, the rode draad, through it, that I know I want to talk about these and these topics. But with this one, I want to make this cardigan. I'm not sure what I'll talk about, and maybe that is evident. So we've got a little bit of decreasing left to go, but then we will finish this. I'm really hoping to get this finished on Sunday, because that's another thing from working on such big projects. You cannot really put a deadline on yourself. Like, I want to have this video done by then, which means that now I'm actually kind of in the position where I don't have a video for, well, not next week. Next week I have a video, but I don't have a video for the week after that. So I'm putting all my hopes on this project, that I can get it done by Sunday, that I can get it edited on Wednesday, and then you can see it, you know, the week after that, because I also need some time to make my captions and stuff. But we need to finish this piece and then the button band. That's actually all that there is left to do. I also will, for now, willfully ignore the step named blocking, because one, you know, deadlines and stuff. But secondly, I'm also a little bit scared about blocking, because I don't know if you know or if you remember, to be correct, but the last time I blocked brioche, that wasn't my most favorite experience ever. Let's keep it at that. Good morning. It is Sunday, 8:45 in the morning, as I have said. Anyway, yesterday I leisurely and peacefully finished all my pieces, and then I put a poll up on my Patreon Discord to ask what sequence to put them in. My question was actually, do I want it to be a medieval heraldic style, or do I want it to look like a harlequin? My patrons have decided, no, we are going medieval heraldic. So one side entirely yellow, one side entirely purple, and I think I'm agreeing with them. So now I'm going to try and find a way to sew these together that would make my cardigan also reversible, because I like both sides of the brioche equally. First, I'm of course trying the mattress stitch, because that is the most logic solution, I think, or I hope at least. up until now on this diagonal it's working quite as I wanted to. It's not making a clear ridge on the other side. Hello voice, what are you doing this morning? Huh? 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 Oh my god! Like, mattress stitch is the solution. Is this already the gazillionth time that the easy solution, the one you first think of, is the right one in any one of my projects, but I keep thinking that it must be something more complicated? Yes, it is probably the gazillionth time because I overthink everything. Mattress stitch! It doesn't look super neat, but it doesn't look super neat on both sides equally. So that's reversible. You almost saw me fall. Okay, a different angle so I don't trip over my own umbrella. What's this neckline? It's hanging a little bit weird. I think I might need to block it after all, but that's going to be for when this thing's done. Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to show. Woo, woo, and then woo woo! Really, what is this neckline? Or what is this shoulder? Maybe going to pose some problems. Button band. Now in the original pattern, the button band is worked as a long strip that you then sew onto your cardigan. This is of course because this pattern was written before the widespread use of circular needles. So even though I wanted to follow it the vintage way, I'm going to completely ignore that direction because this has gone wrong for me at least one time before. And I also want to pick up like every other stitch only, because you just saw seconds ago that the shoulders are not my size, and by picking up the stitches on a circular needle, I think I can like scrunch the shoulders a little bit together to fit me better. That's at least what I hope that is going to be the outcome of this. Fingers crossed. This button band ties in the brioche beautifully, like visually on both sides, like as a good reminder that the Blue Texel is actually the star of the show. The actual question is, does it also tie in the neckline beautifully? Le moment de truth. Where's my sleeve? Hey. Ah, hair. It's still a little bit like an oversized fit, but much better, much better. Yeah, I think we can add some buttons on this. I've got these cute purpley pink vintage buttons that were gifted to me by my grandmother. And since they have a completely flat back, I think they would be perfect to sew back to back on my button band, so that also the buttons are reversible. Well, not the buttons, but like the entire cardigan is reversible and every side has buttons, right? She's done. My Blue Texel, corriedale, bluefaced leicester, reversible cardigan is done. It only took me 6 months. And truly, it is such a cardigan that you just want to completely engulf yourself with. It is just the crunchy, soft, warm, beautiful texture of all these sheep combined. Yeah, I like wearing it. I might live in this from now on. The model of this cardigan itself might be a little bit too much to the oversized, boxy, sporty genre of things that mostly is not something that I gravitate towards, but I like it. If I would make this again, I would shorten it probably, make it a little bit more cropped, more fitted to my style. But this will be just such a good cardigan to throw on when it is a little bit windy or chilly outside. I think I will get a lot of use out of this even in winter, when I can just layer it on top of my other Blue Texel sweater, like double the Blue Texel, double the warmth. Yes, I'm already looking forward to that. Oh, I might have forgotten one little end. Hope you didn't see that in the reveal shots, because that's supposed to be a secret that I am not really good at noticing stuff like that. Prepare for my future videos to just feature this all of the time, every time. I actually don't know what else to say. Blue Texel is awesome. I need more of it, more than this, even though this is a 2-in-1 garment. And I have enjoyed knitting this. I hope you have enjoyed watching this. Why is all of a sudden my brain empty? Well, I have been wearing this cardigan now for a couple of days, and I hope that my brain is now filled with a little bit more thoughts than it was on Sunday, so that I can actually make a nice wrap up to this video and not just, oh no, my brain is empty. First and foremost, this is the perfect, cuddly, squishy cardigan. Like, when I wear this, I want to cuddle myself, I want to pet myself. This cardigan inspires self-love in the physical sense. Just the combination of the Blue Texel with the corriedale and the bluefaced leicester is just peak cuddliness to me. And, well, yes, of course, the brioche texture also helps for that peak cuddliness feeling. I feel like a stuffed animal when I wear this, in a good sense, you know, like I am made out of plush. Secondly, I still do not know which side I prefer to wear, because I have been switching it around. Both sides still look like magic, like the grey Blue Texel in the front with then colors as a background, or with the colors in front and the Blue Texel as background. It's both just magic, like mother of pearl, gemstone. I don't know how to describe this, but it is just beautiful. Look at it. I think I have said that I would shorten it if I were to make it again. I still stand by that statement. Now, another thing that I might alter on this piece is the placement of the buttons. Well, not exactly the placement of the buttons that are on here right now, but I think I'm going to add a 6th one here. Right now it closes really low, and I'd rather have it close a little bit more up top. But I think with that fix, it goes from a 99% perfect cardigan to a 100% perfect cardigan. So yes, that is the first big project of my 2025. Tried to use my vintage magazines more. Like the hat in the Pantone series was the first project, but that was rather small. So this is the first big vintage magazine challenge project done. Yay! I also think I did a pretty good job in making this a reversible cardigan. Like, there are no ridges, nothing actually that gives it away that this is meant to be, you know, one-sided or something. Like, the only place where you can actually see it a little bit, that it's not perfectly reversible, is the neckline over here where I picked up the stitches. But I'm just going to pretend that this is all decorative. Anyway, what are your thoughts about this cardigan, or about the yarn, everything that I've said and done in this video? The comment section is your playground, and let's get back to empty-headed Jente from Sunday to end the video. Anyway, 2-color brioche with a gradient yarn is magic. You just remember that. And then anyway, If you like these kind of fiber shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe, but of course that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in the next video, but maybe here are some more knitting shenanigans if you want to watch that. Bye.